the mother, Ms. Vasquez, later wrote and recanted the testimony that resulted in his conviction.
The original order says that I could see him whenever I want. If I haven't seen him in 2 weeks.
It's the state's understanding that this particular case would be appropriate for a temporary order and the appointment of an ad litem. It's the state's understanding that the parents have an agreement as to Mr. Cantwell being the father of the child, Sophie. No DNA testing required. However, that appears to be the extent of their agreements as to what orders the court should make in this case. It's the state's understanding that a CPS investigation was opened for the family on April 2nd of this year. And while both parents have heard from CPS recently, they're not sure whether it's going to turn into a court case or just remain family-based services. And additionally, Your Honor, there are conflicting allegations as to whether family violence, domestic abuse has occurred since before the younger child, Sophie, was born, and then up to recent. Testimony will also show that Ms. Vasquez's parents have a criminal trespass on Mr. Cantwell. And so any visitation that this court orders for Sophie would not have an exchange at their residence until that is expired. And parties are aware, Your Honor, that we have nothing on file, to change the conservatorship or possession and access of Grayson, no matter how much any party may wish that. And additionally, Your Honor, it's the state's understanding that Ms. Vasquez's parents may be called as witnesses at a following hearing if the court agrees that this cannot be finalized today. And so the state would go ahead and invoke the rule. It's my understanding that they're in the same vicinity as Ms. Vasquez at this time. And with regard to support for adding Sophie, Your Honor, the state is willing to reserve that issue till further final orders. Again, depending on if this court feels an ad litem is appropriate, and if we can get the ad litem in here relatively quickly for a pretrial, that way there isn't as much uncertainty. Additionally, Your Honor, it's the state's understanding that Mr. Cantwell does have criminal history out of Coryell County. There was a 2018 assault, not on a family member, as well as endangering a child. However, that was already completed with a year's sentence in jail, but testimony will be that the mother, Ms. Vasquez, later wrote and recanted the testimony that resulted in his conviction, or plea, and with that, Your Honor, I believe that's just a small bit of the issues for this case.
All right, just a second, please. Thank you. All right, there was a non-disclosure finding in the original order, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And right now, Dad has a standard possession order with the one child that the court has making it with the child Grayson.
Correct, Your Honor.
Grayson is going to be for this year. And what's the state again? Obviously, okay, they're in agreement that he's a dad. That's not a problem. Around the second. All right. Are there any allegations that there's been any type of family violence since the last order was done?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, folks. I'm not even sure if I want to do a temp on this. I'm thinking about just pointing that litem and coming back on a temporary order within the next 2 to 3 weeks on this one, and see what the ad litem's initial reports are looking at. Again, I got non-disclosure, I got allegations, I've got a baby, and I've got people telling you probably don't get ready to tell me a couple different stories here. So anyway, Ms. Bongat, I'm looking at just going ahead and pointing that litem. Probably been giving him way too much work lately, but he seems to. Where the Ms. Vasquez? What city you live in, ma'am? You're muted, ma'am.
I live in Killeen, Texas.
All right, Mr. Cantwell, where do you live?
In Gatesville, Texas.
Gatesville. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's court Mr. Glass on this one.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm going to appoint Mr. Glass as the attorney ad litem for your child in this matter. He's going to, he'll make recommendations concerning both the kids going forward. Here's the deal, folks. Right now, the only thing I have before this court is a modification of child support and most of the infirm arrears. I got nothing dealing with custody of the older child. I only got dealing with the younger child. And for right now, obviously, Dad doesn't have any legal rights until the court mandates their legal rights. So I'm looking at going ahead, like I said, appointing Mr. Kurt Glass as the the children's ad litem. I'm looking at resetting this matter. I know we got a bunch of cases coming up with a bunch of lawyers, but what date is Mr. Glass already supposed to be here over the next 30 days? If anyone can tell me, please.
Checking, Your Honor. And it looks like, Your Honor, we have Mr. Glass on the 23rd. He's got quite a few that day. He doesn't have that many on June 4th. And then after that, he has only one case on the 11th and one case actually on the 20th and the 2nd, but he said the next 30 days. So it looks like the 23rd or 4th, Your Honor.
All right, Belinda and Ms. Bongat, is Mr. Glass supposed to be here live with me on the 5th of June?
Not on the, well, let me see. Yes, he is, Your Honor.
I'm looking at bringing everybody in live on this one. I got witnesses that I need to invoke the rule on. I want deputies, I want everything. So, guys.
Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I was going to say, we do have Mr. Cantwell in Gatesville. Mr. Glass is there on our Coriel docket next week. I didn't know if that was too soon.
That's too soon. Yeah, you can't do an investigation at that time. But and this is a Bell County case, so yeah. I
Yes,
can't do
Judge.
a Bell County case in Coriel. I technically can let y'all do it over there and I'll be sitting here doing it, but that's not a problem. But here's what I'm looking at, folks. I'm hearing a lot of stuff, so I'm looking at bringing y'all in live. I've got a live docket on the 5th. The lawyer's already going to be here on the 5th. Y'all have witnesses that y'all want to testify. I'm maybe even looking at and I'll let y'all confirm that no DNA tests are needed. But based on these circumstances, I'm looking at resetting this matter for June the 5th at 550 East 2nd Street, Bell County, Texas. Belton, Texas, in the 4D courtroom. Not going to be on Zoom. It's going to be a live hearing, so you both will be ordered to appear in the courtroom on that date, folks. What's your schedule looking like on the 5th, ma'am?
Yes.
What's your schedule looking like and your witnesses' schedule?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Cantwell, that would work for you, sir?
Yeah, I'll be free.
All right, then. I'm not sure if I'm going to put. Right now. This is going to be on the 9 o'clock call, but it may move to the 1 o'clock call based on whether or not Mr. Glass is going to be here, because sometimes he has other hearings. So and this is such short notice, so sometimes he comes in around 1 o'clock. But for right now, folks, I'm resetting this matter to 9 a.m. In the courtroom. The information where this is going to be sent to you via the reset order. FYI, the big parking lot is on the north side of this building here, but the entrance is on the south side on this little small road that runs on the south side of the building. So you can park on the north or the east side, but the entrance is at the front of the building is on the south side of this building off of 2nd Avenue in Belton. So.
Begging your pardon, Your Honor. Sorry to jump in like this, but Mr. Glass is I think we requested permission for him to appear via Zoom at 1 o'clock. There's a gentleman that had some choice words for the court a few months back that I think we're going to hopefully deal with is set for the 5th, and Mr. Glass is part of that as well. I don't know if that impacts things.
Okay, I tell you what, for right now it's Mr. Glass. But if he can't be here at 9 o'clock on that date, I reserve the right to appoint another lawyer to represent the child on this, and you'll be informed of that new lawyer's name. Here's the deal, folks. I'm going to need this. I'm assuming the state has both your email information and your telephone information, cell phone information. No matter who the lawyer is going to be, is it all right with the state to share that information with the lawyer, Ms. Vasquez, and that lawyer only, so the lawyer can contact you? Ms. Vasquez, you hear me?
Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
Is it okay for the state to share your email address and your cell phone number with the lawyer?
Yes, sir. That's fine.
Mr. Cantwell, okay with you, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, guys. Again, right now I'm shooting for Mr. Glass, but if I'm whoever I can get here on that date, it may change. So, but anyway, if someone calls you and say, "Hey, I'm your child's lawyer. I need to get some information," please cooperate with them. And I plan on at least doing a temporary hearing on that date on the 5th here live in the courtroom. All right.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I do have a few things that I want to add on to the order that I have, that I'm waiting to be requested.
Here's the deal, ma'am. Right now, you could ask the court that when at the hearing, but again, the only thing that the court is dealing with as far as the police is concerned are the motion to modify and to add the child. If you're gonna ask for something that's above and beyond that motion, you will have to get your own counsel or learn how to file your own paperwork that covers anything else in addition, ma'am. I can't tell you how to.
Okay,
I got a question, sir, after you're done.
All right, so ma'am, first off, I'll start with you questions then.
When am I able to still? I need to be able to see my son, and I'm not allowed over at their house.
Sure, then if you're not allowed on there, you got any order that forbids you from going on their property, you gotta abide by that. And we have to.
Okay, can they need to, if I want to see my son though, can't they meet me somewhere?
Here's the deal, sir. That's not before the court at this point. That's a modification of the original order. You will have to take that up when you have the next hearing, sir. Okay?
The original order says that I can see him whenever I want. If we agree that she can take him down the street even so I can see my son. Like, I haven't seen him in 2 weeks.
Sir, I have something to add on. We do currently have a CPS case, so therefore, because of the drugs that's going on with him, I just feel like I'm gonna talk to my attorney regarding.
Stop, ma'am, stop. Just a second. All right, Mr. Cantwell, the order says that the child visitation begins at and drop off is at pickup and drop off is at her residence. You are not allowed to be at her residence. We'll have to deal with that when you come in and on June 1, sir. That's what your order actually says. And I cannot modify that order at this point. So you'll have to so we'll have to deal with that on the 1st of June, sir. You have to go another 2 weeks. Thank you. Any other questions, Mr. Cantwell?
That's it, man.
All right, again, folks, you have a copy of your order, sir? All right, then. If you ask the state, they can send you, if they have a PDF, they can mail you a copy of what your actual order is, so you might want to read it, sir, and know what again, look at the motion and see what the court's looking at and modifying, but if you don't understand it, then you need to talk to your own counsel. Now, Ms. Vasquez, questions? You're muted, ma'am.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am. Questions?
What was that again? I'm sorry.
Do you have any questions, ma'am? Again, I looked at your order. The order says his pickup and drop off needs to be at your residence. The child's still under school age. So, and it says he's not allowed at your residence where you're living, ma'am. We'll have to deal with that when we come in on the hearing.
Okay, yes. The only reason why there hasn't been no visitation.
So ma'am, you're not under oath. I'm asking you, do you have any questions? So I don't need testimony at this time.
Okay.
All right. So, do you have any questions, ma'am?
No, I do not.
All right. Again, folks, live at Bell County, 5th of June, 9 a.m. Be prepared to be here all day, okay? Because yours is a contested case. Yours is got witnesses. It's going to take time. So be prepared to be here all day. All right.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, folks. And again, I will see you on the and if you want to go to seek your own legal counsel, please do so. But be prepared to go on the state's motions on that date. Now, Ms. Bongak, anything else from the state? And again, we'll have Belinda confirmed whether or not Kurt can be here at 9 a.m. or 1 p.m. and we'll work through this one on that as far as the time is concerned. If it can't be Mr. Glass, then I'll appoint. So I'll see who can be here on that date, Mr. Lambert or whoever. All right.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. All right, folks. Again, you'll get a court order, and the court order will have the name of the attorney, and I should know that by tomorrow. And I'll have the state try to circulate that order with y'all ASAP. All right. See everybody on the 5th. And sir, if you got any witnesses you wish to bring, please bring them also.
I will.
All right. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, folks. See you.
I have my father here as a witness.
You can bring anybody you want as a witness, Sam, so long a witness is someone who's actually seen what they're going to testify to, not what they've heard from a third party, but what they've seen. All right. So any witness you wish to bring, ma'am, you can bring so long as they can be an eyewitness and give eyewitness testimony. All right. All right. Any other questions, ma'am?
You were asking if I had any witness to call in, which I do have my.
No. The witnesses are you have to show up at the live hearing on the 5th at the courthouse. Not now, not today.
Okay, thank you.
All right. All right. See everybody on June the 5th. We're off the record.
You want us to believe that you just bragged in order to convince this woman to marry you, that you had money, that you had businesses, that you had a nice apartment, and then when it didn't work, you let it all go to hell? Is that what it is? You lied to her?